Hey buddy, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, hi.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Pretty good yourself?
I'm good, I'm good. We might got one more person going to join us tonight. I'm not sure.
All right, that's fine.
But you said you had some questions. Let's go ahead and get some of your questions out the way, man.
All right. Let
Wait.
me uh let me log into my notes on my phone here.
All right.
All right. So for starting out, I just wanted to get um more detail on, the whole general process. I'm pretty sure as we go, along, you will answer some of my questions like where do we, how do you determine what prices to charge, your
Mm-hmm.
client and your employees as well. Um, if there's any, organizations, to kind of get more details from. Um, just general starting questions. And I have a lot of questions regarding the contracts,
Mm-hmm.
between your customers and between your clients as well. So,
Did you download the business in the box?
uh, I
It
think I
was
did.
yeah, it was in those links. So all your contracts is in there.
Uh,
Um, Everything you
all
need
right,
for your clients, caregivers, your office stuff like that. Everything is in there.
all right.
So you already have those downloads, and you can edit them as you need. But as far as what market are you in?
What? Well, I'm in Connecticut.
Oh yeah, you said Connecticut.
Yeah, and it's
Um,
yeah. I'm trying to start a non-medical, home care agency.
yeah. So basically, determine the way to really determine price. It's kind of once you get into marketing and start communicating with people. Um, the best way to figure it out, the best so like if you're in a market where you've never done any marketing or anything like that, the first thing I suggest always is just do like some secret shopping or
Yeah,
like call like the top 10 Google searches in your target market, like call the top 10 home care services and
yeah,
start asking them. You know what I mean? Like what do you charge? Tell me a
got
little
it.
bit about your services. So basically you're asking them the questions that your clients or your leads will be asking you. And
All
then
right,
so
makes
not only
sense.
yeah, not only will you get their price points, you'll also
Yeah,
get their sales system and their marketing strategies kinda. You see what I
got
mean?
it.
So you'll kind of
Yeah,
be it's kind of like they're gonna put you through their whole sales system. Once you
yeah,
call them, you know they're gonna get your name, they're gonna get your email. And you want to give them all this stuff. Your
yeah,
name, your email, phone number. They might want your address because that's
yeah,
what you're gonna want. And at that point, what they're gonna do is, like I said, once they give you the prices, they might tell you for they might give you a range, say like 18 to 24 or 20 to 25 or you know what I mean, whatever the range is, they'll give you a range most likely, and they'll say based on the minimum amount of services to the most extreme, to the like full care. And then
yeah,
they'll have like based on the amount of hours. So they're most likely they'll have a minimum amount of hours that you have to get. They'll probably say 20 hours a week is a minimum. And if you get the minimum, you'll pay the most. And if you get more hours, we could probably work with you on the hourly rates. And that's pretty much how you do it. Maryland right now, we can get away with we could barely get away with paying caregivers 16 an hour, but that's barely. Most of them want 17 and up.
yeah.
We're not going over 20.
Got
You
it.
know what I mean? But and that depends on the services that they're gonna be working, the client based on the client services needed. So uh and then what we can charge a client, we can like now what we're trying to get, because the caregivers want so much, we still try to keep a cushion of like $6 to $7 an hour. So we'll still be charging like 24. We'll try to get to at least 24 and up at this point. is what we're
Got it.
trying to get. Yeah. And that's just in this market. So your market might be totally different. I doubt it because of Connecticut. It's usually kind of like the cost of living and like the uh like the wages. So like in the South, like in like, Mississippi, Alabama, they got low wages. They still paying people like $12 an hour. They can get away with
Yeah,
it down there because the cost of living is different.
yeah.
But
So
up here,
far,
like East Coast and up north, it's a little bit more expensive.
yeah. So far, I've called one person, and the guy was trying to charge me about, I think he said $33 an hour, and I'm not sure if that was kind of at the highest, mark. And I even told him that, I have a grandma here who might need, help about 30 hours a week, and he
Hmm.
charged me about $33 an hour. So
Yeah, so that I mean, like I said, that's probably where the range is, and
yeah,
it's even like that here. You'll hear that in Maryland. So we try to stay on the we try to stay as most affordable as possible. So obviously so we can win the client.
yeah.
But you still want to have some room in there for you can pay your caregivers because it's uh if you don't you could probably get them hired and working at a low rate, but they won't stay. You know
So
what I mean?
now, so one of my questions regarding that is, I've seen other companies, well-established companies, who offer benefits to their employees. Starting out, I won't be able to offer benefits to employees. So, uh, do you know how I will go about that situation?
They have different programs that I'm starting to see now where that offer small businesses insurance packages.
Yeah,
We still don't offer health insurance or anything like that because we hire 1099 independent contractors. So all our caregivers, Maryland allows us to hire independent contractors. It's a lot easier for taxes, and we don't pay any medical or health insurance like that. But that's definitely a value add for employees. They'll be
yeah,
more excited to stay if you do offer that. But a lot of them they have their own stuff. Like a lot of them because they're not making so much money they can qualify for a lot of the state programs anyway.
I see. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, good, cool. All right. Oh yeah, I'm just looking at the links you send. Business in the Box 2.0.
Yep. So there's a second link under that where you get like all the documents. It'll
Yep.
say like bonuses or something.
Uh, I'm seeing a lot of different documents. Two-page productivity planner.
Go back out, and then go back to where you found that link. It
To
should
the
be right
email.
under that link.
Also, I mean, I see the checkout podcast. Assisted living startup guide.
Okay, maybe you didn't get it. Hold
Business
on.
credit establishment.
Uh-uh. You
Is
probably
that
uh-uh.
it wouldn't be the customized home care business plan plus bonus material?
Yeah, the bonus material. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen a bunch of documents. Guide and business tools, operation files,
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
advertising. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Client.
there you
All
go.
right, cool, cool, cool. Let me save that.
So, tell me a little bit about what do you have established so far?
All right.
Because it seemed like you were already,
Do you
because you
mind
were
if I share
saying,
my screen real quick?
oh no, go ahead. Let me see if I could let you share.
All right.
I think I gotta make you a host, right?
Yeah. Let me. All right. So, okay. Do you want to continue? All right. Yep. I think I'm able to share.
Yeah.
All right. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, that's
So,
nice. Velvet Hands Home Care. Yeah.
yeah. So, this is basically what I'm starting.
Yeah, I looked at your website.
Yeah. Right now, so in Connecticut, the certifications for home care business expires October 31st of every year. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna wait November 1st before I file to get mines.
Okay.
Yeah, because if I do it right now, it's gonna expire October 31st. Yeah, so that's where I am right now. I'm creating the website. Business has been registered. Just trying to offer these three services. Um, okay, so is he working on this? So yeah. Um,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
That's
so
nice.
yeah. So personal care services, companion, respite care services. I think if you go to the About Us, it should probably list the different
Yep.
kinds of so that's what I'm trying to do. And basically my goal for this is, I think I told you, have this almost like care.com, where um people can be able to find caregivers within their specified radius.
Yep. Yes, you were
And
mentioning that.
yeah, so my goal is to hopefully, take this countrywide, but right now I'm just starting in Connecticut, for about 3 4 months, see how that goes, and maybe uh open up in Massachusetts. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. It's just these three services that we are, providing right now. So yeah, that's where I am right now, and I just really need help to make sure I do everything correctly.
Yeah.
Follow all the protocols. Just make sure that this business is successful, and these are the services here. Um,
Okay.
yeah, respite. So yeah,
Okay.
so far, I think the website looks decent,
Yeah,
and
yeah, it looks
yeah,
really good. It looks really good. You
yeah.
did that on yourself on your own?
No, I hired someone from Fiverr.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love Fiverr.
same here.
So, um,
I'll stop sharing.
okay.
Yeah.
I think you got to make me the host again.
Oh, really?
You got to give it back. Yeah. Yeah. Oh
So
no, I could do it here. I got it.
yeah.
So, have you established your LLC
Yes, I have the LLC.
and you got business accounts and all that?
So the business banking account, no, I don't have that. I plan to get that this week.
Okay.
I'll need to get an EIN number as well.
Okay.
I
So
have a I have an EIN from a previous business, but I'm not sure if I can use the same EIN for multiple business.
I would use a whole I think I'm
Yeah.
not quite sure, but I usually do separate. For every
Okay.
LLC, I put a different
Yeah.
EIN, because it's a new
Um.
business account and everything. Because you
Yeah.
gotta open up your business account with your EIN.
Yeah. And another thing that I need to get business insurance.
Mm-hmm.
For Connecticut, I need to get a 10,000 surety bond.
Yeah,
So
surety bond. That's all they
yeah,
want is the surety bond, not the rest, not like professional liability.
for Connecticut, to get the certification, that's all it mentioned. I could go
Okay.
on the Connecticut homemaker website right now, and that's what it's gonna say.
Okay.
CT home care license.
So you can get the bond now and then just wait for the other insurance until start to get some clients because it could get kind of pricey. It's like 2,000 a year.
Oh,
Um
really?
yeah, for like all of it. But I know you can get a bond for about 200-300 bucks.
Oh,
Definitely for 10,000, probably a little less than that. Probably 200-300 bucks for a bond.
yeah.
Um just to
S
get your license.
uh,
So
do you know what company, or do you have any list of
yeah,
companies?
go through the solutions group.
Solutions Group. Let me just,
Yeah, they call it the solutions group. So if you put the solutions group, a whole bunch of different websites might come up. So you gotta put solutions group home care insurance.
all right. So I would do that. So from looking at the Connecticut homemakers agency, it says homemaker companion agency shall maintain a surety bond of at least 10,000 coverage.
Yeah,
So that's basically all, and I just need to send a personal check of $375.
and that's every year.
Yes, yes. Because it expires on October 31st of every year. So
Okay, so
yeah,
you do November every year. Okay, cool.
yeah,
Okay. So usually how we do this, since you kind of established, man, I don't know, how you what you need at this point, but we go through this. I kind of cover what I call the 12 areas of balance, the daily GPS, and then we'll get
yeah,
into entity formation and business plan creation. But the 12 areas of balance, it's kind of like some personal stuff, right? And
yeah,
I always like to cover this in the beginning because a lot of times when we start to set ourselves out to do business or to get into entrepreneurship, we don't
yeah,
really have our priorities together. And I like to, I try to, as a coach and as I coach people and mentor people, I want to kind of get them in the mindset of like, what are you doing it for? Do you have like a clear vision of not only just what you want your business to look like, but what you want your life to look like? And
yeah,
I cover these what we call the 12 areas of balance, and this kind of helps you kind of understand what that total package looks like. So we
yeah,
have here we got like health and fitness, intellectual life, emotional life, your character, spiritual life, and love relationship. So when you look at health and fitness, and these are just questions you're just gonna ask yourself. This is like one of the first assignments that we do throughout this program is just you answer these questions. You don't got to send me the answers, but I just want you to kind of go through this stuff, kind of think about it, write it out, and then use it as kind of like a guide and like a personal accountability type thing. So like, what do you want your body and health to look like? Intellectual life. How many books do you want to read every month or yearly? How often do you want to grow? How do you want to grow professionally? How would how would you ideally deal with stress and anger? How do you maintain happiness in the now? What are your values? What do you believe in? What type of person do you want to be? You can see, where we're going with this. So you answer these questions, and what they begin to do is kind of help you. I like to do this like every year, like in the beginning of the year, so I can kind of just like prepare my mind for the year and just kind of refresh like, okay, this is what I'm focused on, this is what I need to be thinking about,
yeah,
um and this is kind of like what the direction I want my life to go in. So what are your values? What do you believe? What type of person you want to be? How often do you meditate? Do you go to church, or whatever your spirituality is? Who do you want to wake up with every morning? What does your relationship look like? These kind of questions. And then we
got
go
it.
to the next 12, the next six. Like if
Yeah,
you got kids or you don't, how many kids do you want to create? What kind of parent do you want to be? What value do you want to teach your children? Like you go through this thing, and by the time you finish, like you had this whole, this whole like, this whole vision of like, okay, damn, I kind of like set myself up for, a good life. Like this is how I want my life to look. And a lot of times I feel like we just be doing stuff. You see what I'm saying? Like we don't
yeah,
really have like a clear vision of what we want our life to look like. Now I'm not into like the vision boards, putting pictures on the wall and stuff like that. Like I don't get into all that. But I do want to have a structure, and like, I want you to have like an idea of like who you want to be and who you want to be and what type of person you want to end up being or eventually grow into, like what type of parent you want to be if you plan on having children, your social life, who are your friends, how do you guys support each other, your financial life, how much cash do you have in the bank, what are your financial goals for the next 5 to 10 years, savings, retirement, business and plans, business investments, your career, what do you want to build, what's your next blog or book you want to produce, the quality of life, what would your house look like, so you kind of like what do you want, what are you working toward, how often can you take paradise beach vacations, and then ultimately your life vision on the day you die, what do people say about you, what mark do you want to leave on the world? And that's pretty much it. Like, you know take some, and this is also in your business in the box, these questions, and they'll be on this is all being recorded, and it'll be uploaded to the group, so you'll be able to look at these questions again and pause it or whatever. But like different people are in different places in your life, and this may seem like something you don't need, you know what I mean, but I just like to put it out there so people do have take the time to think about it. At least I give you opportunity to say, hey, look, this is what I feel like if I would have been doing this in the beginning, I'd have had a much better time, a much easier process of entrepreneurship. Even though entrepreneurship is still going to be hard, like it's still going to be, like you're preparing yourself for a really tough, like it's like a marathon. Like, and people say that a lot, oh, it's marathon, but for real, like you want to not just prepare yourself financially or prepare yourself, quote unquote mentally, but you really have to get ready to like go in for the
Yeah,
long haul. This business that you're embarking on is not a get rich quick scheme. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like you're gonna have to build this business like brick by brick, day by day, step by step, dollar by dollar, because you're gonna have to make investments and
yeah,
and having like your vision put together and your whys and stuff that you can kind of think back like this is what I'm doing it for. This is why I'm about to this stress is worth it because this is the financial life I want to have. This stress is worth it because this is what I want out of my career. You know what I mean? This stress or this sacrifice is worth it. I can't take this trip this year or you know what I mean? I got to shut off some of the things in my life because I want these type of things because you can't have both. Like people think that they can continue to live in a certain lifestyle and then start a business too. Like something has to give.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like you if you had everything you need, you wouldn't be trying to start a business. So you're
exactly.
gonna have to take something away. You're gonna have to like turn off like I even get so anal to it. It's like you have to, disconnect your social media, disengage Netflix, like disconnect all that stuff and start focusing on your business and your mental state and just like your learning. Because it's like not only are you going to be engaged in the business, you have to start learning new information, like sales. You have to start studying marketing, and not just like passively. You like to like really start to understand like this new age of marketing. You have to really start to understand search engine optimization, because a lot of your business nowadays is going to come from the internet. So you got to
Yeah,
focus on learn new strategies as far as internet marketing, Facebook ads, Google ads, stuff like that, right? So again, if you work a job, you know what I mean. You had this active, very super active social life.
yeah.
You vegging out in front of Netflix, 3 4 hours a day. You hanging out, then you working, and you got a girl, bro. It's no time for a business. You
Oh
see what
yeah,
I'm saying?
definitely.
So, and you have to like think about that, and
Yeah,
you have to prepare yourself first. You prepare your family, your friends, or the people that's close to you, to not only Hold on, let me get my dog situated. I gotta text my daughter real quick. Uh, you have to start preparing yourself to and the people around you to start to understand like this is what it's gonna be, and it's gonna probably be like this for a while. You know
yeah,
what I mean? It's not gonna just be like, okay, this is the next 90 days. I gotta lock in. No, be prepared for the next 18 months. You know what I mean? Start thinking in terms of, quarters, like, the first quarter I'm gonna be focused on, next quarter, and managing expectations. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing you have to do early on is like start to manage your expectations and don't get caught up into like this place where you think this shit all gonna happen tomorrow because it's not. You know what I mean? The next thing I want to talk about is this hold on. Is this productivity planner. This is also
yeah. I think that's is
it's
is in
also
the
in your thing.
files.
Yeah, it's in your file. So what we do with this is hold on 1 second. I gotta get this dog straight. I got a Doberman, man. She barks so loud.
Uh, I didn't hear anything, so
Oh, you can't hear her?
nope, not at all, man. You got good microphone, I guess, or good
Oh man,
headphones.
that's good. Also,
Yeah,
I got
I don't
this
hear anything.
noise cancellation. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't hear anything.
Oh, perfect. So I ain't even got a trip.
Nah, you good.
Um, but yeah, so the 2-page productivity planner is based
Is
on
that
go ahead.
is that in the business in the box?
Yeah, you got this. Yep, you can just download it. You know what I mean? Download it. So what I like to do is download 30 sheets, and then put it on the side of your bed. And I'm gonna basically tell you how this works. and I got this from my mentor, Brenda Bouchard, when I took his program like 10 years ago, something like that. And what he taught us was this is how you start your day. This is how you begin to prioritize your agenda over, the other, other things that's going to come into your day, whether that's your job, your email, your partner, whatever. You know what I mean? The first thing you want to do is to look at what you have to do for your business. Like I said, even before your job, because your job isn't really your business. That's somebody else's business that
Yeah.
you just making, making a living. But until you begin to prioritize your stuff first and make that like the initial thing for the day, it'll never happen. A lot of this stuff just won't, it'll just, another day go by, another day go by, another day go by. And then another thing what this is good for is it begins to let you see that when you do get into those those places where you feel like you're not making any progress, you can go back and look at your productivity sheets and be like, damn, okay, for the last 6 days, I didn't got a lot of shit accomplished. It may not seem like it's moving a needle, but if you add it all up, you see that you're making progress. And
Yeah.
because and just because you don't have a new client or you haven't been able to, make any money yet doesn't mean your business isn't making progress.
Yeah.
Um, so
Understood.
say for example, you take a project, it's like, okay, you got your website done. You'll say project one will be, finish website or, work on search engine optimization. Project two will be set up social media. So that'll be your LinkedIn, your YouTube, your Facebook, your Instagram, whatever you're gonna use. I would suggest using everything.
Yeah.
And number three, another project may be, set up. You said you got your LLC, your EIN stuff. That stuff kind of simple, but I would say
Yeah.
project three is to set up QuickBooks, right? So,
Got it.
so those three projects, what are the five things I must do to move these projects forward? So for the SEO, whether that's going, hire somebody off Fiverr to start working on your SEO, could be one. Study some, get a course on SEO, learning how to do SEO yourself, watch some YouTube video. So the five things to move that project forward. Same thing with the social media. It's pretty easy. You get your logo fitted for your website. I mean, for your social media, different pages, so it can look right. You don't want to just put your logo any kind of way. You go to
Yeah.
Fiverr, get people to set it up, and then start putting content, right? Like figuring out how you're gonna uh, post, relevant content on there. Like figuring out how you're gonna get content. And project three, QuickBooks. Download it. You could buy like you could buy the software, or you can, pay like monthly and do like the online QuickBooks. And I'm just saying that because I want you to get QuickBooks if you don't have it already.
Yeah. I don't.
So that'd be like the third project. Download, buy it, download it, start, studying, figuring out how to use it, and start inputting. You don't have any transactions yet, but once you start your business account, you link your business account to your QuickBooks, and then when you instead of making, so like you pay somebody on Fiverr to do your website. See, that should have went to your business account. You see what I'm saying? And then that would have
Yeah.
came up in your QuickBooks, right? You'll see all your expenses itemized. So this how, an example of how this thing works. So people I need to reach out to today. List the people you have to reach out to today, no matter what. People I'm waiting on. So list the people who you need something from. Like this might be some website developers, your SEO people, or whatever, your accountant for QuickBooks if you're gonna be working with a bookkeeper. Um People you need to reach out to, it, maybe be the state about, some, the state about your license, the insurance of, for your surety bond, and the SEO person, right? And then the priorities on the next page is the main things I must complete today, no matter what. List the priorities and to-dos that must be accomplished today, and do these before getting trapped in your inbox and other people's agendas. And that's what he kind of focuses on when it comes to this. You set this on the side of your bed. The first thing you do before you pick up your phone, like, you don't realize, a lot of people don't realize, like, once you pick up your phone, it's over with. Like,
That's
because
true.
you're gonna check your email,
Yeah.
and now you reacting. You're not proactive, you're reacting,
Yeah.
right? Because you responding to somebody else. You're not initiating, you're responding. So
Yeah.
if you on social media, you're scrolling, you're reactive, you're not proactive, you're not actively doing nothing, you're responding to whatever content is being, pushed on you. just like so anything else, whether that's email, social media, text messages, phone calls that you might have missed last night. Before you do all of that, sit down, do your productivity planner, and then get your day started. That's going to kind of like set the tone for your day. So you get your productivity planner set up. You do your projects. You just write them all out, and then I want you to be strict on yourself and try to get this stuff accomplished, but don't drive yourself crazy because you do have to have a life. But I mean, as far as you still got to go to work and you still got to do the other things you have to do, but make sure you do this
Yeah.
first. So this is the top of mind, right? This is the most important thing for your day, and you want to make sure this stuff is moving forward. And like I said, you do this for a week, and like some of the stuff projects might not get done today, so they just roll over to the next day, then they just roll over, they just roll over, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But eventually you'll start to see where um you actually moving your company forward. You'll be like, okay, I was at A, B, now I'm at D, E, E, F, what I'm saying? I'm making progress, even though, like I said, like a business, man, it's like you building a house or something. It's not nothing you can just slap together. You know what I mean? The way the internet and like people think of it today now, and like YouTube, and the way people just construct the vision of what it looks like to build a business, it makes it seem so simple, right?
Yeah.
And it's just so many moving components, and there's so many pieces just to get it started before you do anything to even engage a client or engage a staff member or engage some type of an assistant or some type of you know whatever. Before you engage the world, there's so much groundwork that has to be laid, so you do present yourself to the world properly. So this helps you do that and helps you prioritize that, and this helps you get through, so you don't miss anything. So now we're going to get it. So do you have any questions about that? Does that help you out a little bit?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, great. So you already have LLC, right? You pretty much
Yes.
okay. So cool. So we don't really have to go through this stuff. This pretty basic stuff.
Yeah.
But
So I
eventually,
mean, I had one question.
mhm.
Um, so now once you have an LLC, I know the state that you have the LLC, that's their domestic. And let's say you're trying to do business in your neighboring state. Do you have to get a separate LLC, or you can get you can just apply for a foreign LLC within your neighboring state? Because I was watching some videos on YouTube, and it says you don't have to get an LLC in every state that you're doing business in, as long as you have what's called foreign LLC in those states.
Yeah, so I never did it for an LLC, and I have set up LLCs in different states. I just set up separate entities, so I'm not
I
familiar
see.
with that. I just would set up a separate entity, but I'm not saying that's the best way to do it. Maybe that is a better way, but ultimately, I would say consult an accountant.
Got it.
So it's only so much I could tell you, even like legally. It's only so much I could say, like, oh, do this, this, and that, because I'm not an accountant. And then it'd be like me practicing accountant, giving
Yeah.
you accounting information without being a licensed accountant. So, um, I would say for that particular thing, I would probably most likely get a local LLC, just because that's what I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen that on like the LLC documentations about form. I've seen that wording, but I've never
Yeah.
used it or activated it.
Got it.
So if you're so like I guess you're thinking about your ultimate goal to have like a nationwide registry, right? And that's what you're
Yes.
about when it comes to the LLC formation. So
Yeah.
definitely I would consult an accountant, because like I said, you might if you plan on being in 50 states, you don't want to have to set up 50 LLC.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? So I get what you're asking for. So I would definitely consult an accountant. And then also you got to remember that each state got different tax codes. So you
Yep.
might be in some states where they taxing you crazy, and in some states where there's no taxes, like Texas. So
Wait, there's no taxes in Texas?
there is no state taxes.
Oh, sure. I know that.
Yeah, yeah. That's why everybody moving to Texas. I think Florida
Makes
has
sense.
something similar to that. Don't quote me, but I know I ain't gonna say they don't got no taxes, but I know they got like very good tax
Yeah.
rates in Texas. Like the tax system is a lot different. We get taxed heavily here in Maryland. California is another one that gets so like if you notice like a lot of companies like if you look at like Elon Musk and a lot of these other these billionaires they're moving to Texas or moving their headquarters
Yeah.
to Texas because of how much taxes you getting in California because obviously they started in California like Silicon Valley and
Yeah.
you familiar with that world so
Yeah.
but a lot of they're moving their headquarters to Texas so they can get some of those benefits. Like if you heard like Austin, Texas is like the new Silicon Valley, and that's why.
I see.
Um, so what happens next when you get your LLC? Once you start making money and you can be able to pay yourself, your accountant is going to advise you. But I'm guessing most accountants are going to advise you to get an S corp, and through that S corp, it's an addition to your LLC. And what that allows you to do is you become an employee of the S corp that's owned by the LLC, and you begin to you get paid like how you do at your job, right?
Got
There,
it.
so you get taxed differently. Your company's paying you as an employee opposed to you being the owner and paying like you know um what's it called taxes for
A W-2?
gains gains so yeah you
Oh,
become a
okay.
W-2 employee for your
All
own
right.
company yeah
Got it. Got
and
it.
then the registered agent that's your whoever you put on there that's the person. And I mean, it could be you, obviously, but then it
Yeah.
could be like your accountant or somebody else. That's if you don't want the public to know who owns this, you could put that as somebody else. That doesn't have to be you. That's the only information that's public information about your
Got it.
LLC. Yeah. So and then the operating agreement. Operating agreement is some usually the bank wants you to submit an operating agreement with your LLC, and it's definitely used for if you have partners. So if you have a partner that you guys have put together operating agreement, and on that operating agreement, it will outline who gets what, like the percentages. If you got a 50-50 partner, 60-40, 30-70, it'll be documented in that agreement.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it when it comes to the LLC. You got any questions about that, or it's pretty much straightforward?
Yeah. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, okay. So when it comes to creating a business plan, I feel like every company, every business should have a business plan. You shouldn't be operating without one, even if you don't plan on using it at the time. It's kind of just like a guide, like a roadmap for what you want to do and where you want to go, and what's the vision for your company. Um,
Yeah.
Traditional business plans consist of executive summary, company description, market analysis, organization, services, marketing, and funding. And you have in your business in the box, you got two business plans for home care, and then you got assisted living one. So if you want to, when you're doing assisted living, if that's something you ever want to get into, we'll
Yeah.
be covering that as well. You have a business plan for that. So it's already, it's a template for a home care service. It's a little dated, so you would just update it, put your company information in there, your market and all that stuff. And then again, Fiverr is a good place to, if you want to have like a really good, clean, updated one with all your market information and stuff like that, you can find somebody pretty good on Fiverr to do a good, in-depth traditional business plan. Even if you're trying to go towards like getting some funding,
Yeah.
whether it's traditional funding from like the SBA,
Yeah.
or if you want to get like some investors and start reaching out to like family, friends, or people in your circle of influence, kind of reach out for money. You can present them with that traditional business plan. That's what you always want to have. It's just for you. So mission statement, your executive summary is your mission statement, your services, your company's leadership team, employees, and location. So you'll probably have like your org chart and stuff like that. Uh, company description obviously details the problems you solve, list out the consumers and your company's plan to serve your company plans to serve, market analysis. What do successful competitors do? Why does it work? What can you do better? Um, organization, state what entity structure you'll be using. So for example, you got the LLC already. Your use your organizational chart to lay out who's in charge of what, your org chart, and even see, Maryland makes you present this to the get your license. You have to present like the org chart, business plans. Like you can't even get a license in Maryland without this stuff.
Yeah. Same thing for Rhode Island, because I was looking into Rhode Island, because I mean, where I am is right next door to Rhode Island, and
Oh,
you need
okay.
all of those as well. So
Okay, cool. So yeah, then services, what do you offer? Explain how it will benefit you. And then like all of this stuff is already written out for you in a template, but now with like ChatGPT, bro, you can go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like you can really,
yeah,
use this stuff and really get deep, deep depth information. So your marketing strategy, like your strategy, your strategy should evolve and change to fit your unique needs. And then funding, your goal is clearly explaining how much funding you need and over the next 5 years and what you'll use it for. And that's really important. If you're gonna use a business plan to go get some funding, whether like I said, it's traditionally obviously to like a bank or the SBA, you definitely gotta be, itemized. Like they want to know where every penny going. So you don't just want to say, "Oh, I need 50,000." Like, okay, what you gonna use it for? They want to know where every penny going. You know what I'm saying? So you got to
yeah,
make sure you're really clear about that. Really, get into like like a spreadsheet like that, like really really clear explanation on what you're gonna do with their money.
got
And
it.
then also, for yourself, you want to see it for what write it out, not just generic, like for real, what you need the money for. And like, even because you're going to be funding it, you should still know exactly what you're going to be spending money on.
Yeah.
So like they got this, I don't know if you're familiar with the lean startup plan. This is something that they kind of use in Silicon Valley, like with tech companies. Um, this is like something it's almost like a resume for your business. Like it's really condensed. But it's called key partnerships. Note the other businesses or services you'll work with to run your business, referral partners.
Uh,
Go
are you
ahead.
supposed to be? So right now, all I see is the business plan creation. I'm not sure if you're trying to show a different screen or you just speaking up right now.
No, no, no. It's two sides.
Yeah, yeah, I see that. Oh, okay, never mind. The lane startup plan. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, it's like the traditional business plan and not a lean startup plan.
Got it.
You see it?
Yeah, I see that.
Okay. So key partnerships, key activities, list the ways your business will gain a competitive advantage, key resources. Your most important assets could include your staff, capital, intellectual property, leverage business resources that might be available to you, women, veteran, Native American, uh HUB zone businesses. So like if you got like a minority business or you know what I mean, stuff like that, you talk about some of these resources there. Value proposition, make it clear and compelling statement about the unique value your company will bring to the market. Um,
Yeah,
customer relationships and personal online. Think through the customer experience from start to finish. Um, customer segment, be specific when you name your target market. Your business won't be for everybody, so it's important to have a clear sense of whom your business will serve. And then revenue streams, describe how customers will interact with your business. Is it automated or personal? Is impersonal online? Think through the customer experience from start to finish. So like this thing can be really lean, can be on like 2 pages, and or like on a PDF that you can kind of just pop out on somebody or send it to them quick on a
yeah,
like or show them like on a Mac or like a iPad or something. You see what I'm saying? Or
yeah,
send a quick PDF and just kind of give them like an overview of what you're looking for, what you're doing, and stuff like that. I would suggest, because I kind of like to take notes. I'm like real heavy on note taking and just kind of writing things out. I would do both. You see what I mean? Just so you can start thinking through all of this stuff and get and what you start doing this stuff, man, you just be surprised, like as you dig deeper into your business and thinking about what you want to accomplish and how you want it to look, you'll start to come up with like ideas on, that's gonna make it work. or just you just become more creative the more you engage these questions. So, like for example, like your customer segments, like you say seniors, but then you gotta think about like how do I get in contact with seniors? Like what seniors that am I looking for exactly? You see what I'm saying? Like you don't want every senior because every senior can't afford home care. Like believe like to some degree, home care is like a luxury product. It's like a luxury service. You don't realize that. A lot of people don't realize that, but it's like for middle class and up. They can afford some of the services without like government programs, and then most of the people who can afford it are already set up with a way to pay for it. Like they have the insurance that's covering it and stuff like that. They don't have to go to the state. They already prepared for it, whether that's through long-term care insurance or like savings, right? They prepare for retirement. This is part of their budget. And unfortunately, it's a segment of the community, especially our community, that's just not prepared.
Yeah,
They and they get and I get calls all day. Like we got a call today from a client. That we really like the family, but they never want to get any hours. They barely want to get the minimum. Our minimum is 25. It was 20. We have a minimum of 25 hours a week, and we went back to 20 just for them, and they still don't want to get 20 hours. You know what I mean? At a
I
minimum
see.
rate.
Yeah,
You feel what I mean? So,
yeah,
but we really like them. They're, like I said, they're a black family as well. So we trying to help them out, but it's just nothing we could do because a caregiver won't go there for a specific. You can't get a consistent caregiver to go to work for less than 20 hours a week. You see what I mean? Because then you got to think about their transportation. They're not making enough money for it to even make sense.
that's
So
true.
at that point, you got to remember like that. So it's a certain segment of the market that you're going to go after. So like if you get into like Medicaid and all that stuff later on, once your business has been mature, you can start applying for Medicaid and thinking about that kind of stuff. But initially, I'm going to teach
Yeah,
you how to get private clients, private pay clients, and that's going to be in the market of middle class and up, middle class, upper middle class, stuff like that. So that'd be like your customer segment. What we thinking about? How you feel about that? This information here.
I can't wait to get started, man. This is
I'm saying, are
awesome.
you good? Are you good with this stuff? Do you have
Yeah,
any
yeah,
questions? Okay,
yeah.
there's no questions here.
So I had one question, and I mean, you just said that we're gonna go over it a little bit more.
Go
So
ahead.
I was a little bit, interested in learning how, some of these clients would pay, and because I know not everyone has the money, uh,
Hmm.
and I know not everyone has Medicaid. Yeah, so like I'm pretty sure some of those customers might even ask me questions, like, is there any other options we could pay
Oh
for your
yeah.
service? So like, how would I answer that? Do you have some kind of brochure that lists the different kinds of payments that they can pay and some assistance that they could reach out to, to help pay for them?
Yes, absolutely. So what I'll do is, let me do it now. I don't know. I was having trouble getting on my Facebook, but I have a list of resources that they could use to help pay for. I was having a problem getting on the group. That's why I didn't get y'all in the group until the last minute.
I
Like it
see.
wouldn't let me log in because I guess it's a new group. Um, I'm gonna post it now so I don't forget. Yeah, I can post. So
You're
let
gonna
me
post it where?
in the group, in the private Facebook group.
Oh, okay, got it, got it.
Yeah. Hmm. A lot of families, there's a lot of families we're gonna be targeting have like long-term care insurance,
Yeah,
or they have like they have already been preparing for this stuff with retirement, and then you're gonna register with the VA and stuff like that. Veterans, they can help pay. They can pay. Um, hold on, I'm about to communicate for one. I'm posting it now. Just so I don't forget. So you could like turn that into like a brochure.
All right.
Yeah. So this is just some of the stuff we just covered. I don't know why I got this stuff. Zachary submission statement, all this. It's like I got this stuff repetitive. Did we cover this stuff? What do your competitors do? What do you works? Yeah, we already went over all this. Entity structure, use an organizational chart.
Well,
So just some,
I think
go
we
ahead.
barely spoke about, competitors. You told me I should, call competitors and
Oh
basically,
yeah.
yeah, just ask those questions.
So when it comes to like your competitive, so that's like pretty much your market analysis, right?
Yeah,
Like you can go, you can go online. Like again, Fiverr, like you said, Fiverr, that's my thing. So you they can help you. Like you could put on like a market analysis, and there's some people on there that can really help you with that.
yeah.
Just make sure you check the reviews, and they got some good reviews. But other than that, like what I like to do and what I did when I first got started, believe it or not, how I really came up with like what works and what marketing works is
Hmm.
that I called all the local, the top franchises, all the top home care services, and I got into their sales system. You see what I'm saying?
Really?
And when I say I
I
got
see.
into their sales system, I'm in their funnel. So they're sending me all their emails and all their follow-ups, all their marketing material, all these letters, all these phone calls. So I'm knowing exactly like, okay, in 2 weeks they called me, they sent me this, in 1 week they sent me this. So now you got to remember these are big corporations. You see
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So this is stuff is like clockwork for them. It's not just random. You see what I'm saying? So they have like a marketing calendar that you get put in, or like some kind of funnel like a CRM, like Infusionsoft or something like that, where when you're in that system, they're gonna keep hitting you, hitting you. You're gonna get an email, you're gonna get a letter, you're gonna get a phone call. You know what I'm saying? Until you say yes, right? Or until
got
you
it.
opt out. Like, look, stop calling me. You feel me? It's like that's how you want to be. Like, you know how it is. Like, if you opt into something, you're gonna keep getting emails. If you give them their phone number, they're gonna start texting you, email, leaving voicemail. You see
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like, that's how business works, man. Like, and that's what you have to do. And I learned that from getting into these home care services sales cycles, their sales funnels and their marketing cycles. So what you'll begin to see is like, damn, okay, I should be doing this. And basically just seeing how you respond to it, like how you really
yeah,
emotionally respond to it, like, oh, this shit is whack. You know what I mean? This not gonna work. You see what I'm saying? But like, oh, damn, I could take this, or you know what I mean? You could take this stuff and add it to your business. But then, also you get, obviously the prices and stuff like that. And then, you ask questions. Basically, it's like you getting free business training. You see what I'm saying? You just
yeah,
asking, like, so like if I'm starting a restaurant, it's like McDonald's is coaching me,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like I'm gonna
Got it.
do everything you said. I mean, the best do, right? So you want to, you get into their sales systems, you ask questions, you see what's working, and then you tweak it. And then you have the one of the advantages of being smaller is you can you don't you're not as bogged down to that structure, so you could offer cheaper rates, you know what I mean, and still make a
Yeah,
profit where they can't. They got a huge overhead, they got this marketing budget obviously that they just ran you through. They got hundreds of employees. They got, they got rent to pay. They probably got a big offices and all this stuff. You don't have that. So you're a little
yeah,
bit more flexible. So you can play with the numbers a little bit. You can offer the same level of services, but at a cheaper rate. You see what I mean? As long as you're paying
yeah.
as long as you're paying your competitor, your caregivers a competitive rate. So
So now,
mhm.
how would I know how much those companies are also paying their caregivers?
All you would really have to do is look on Indeed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Indeed gonna tell you everything. So if you just put Google, if you just put Indeed caregiver positions, then you'll see the companies. Like you'll see the same companies in that market, hiring, and it'll tell you like
Yeah.
right there what they paying. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That makes
Indeed will
sense.
tell you all that information. Everything is out there, man, and a lot of it is free information. You just gotta look for it. Just know what to look, and just be thinking about this kind of stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much how we kind of engage competitors and see what's working in the marketplace and
Got
what
it.
we want to use and how we want to do it.
Um,
Was there anything else you was thinking about as far as competitors?
no, I think that's it. I'm just looking at Indeed. These prices are cheap for they're paying caregivers like 15, $16 an hour.
Yeah, so you already see they're making. So if you look at the people who paying
Yeah.
15 and they charging 30,
Yeah,
you
it's
feel me?
crazy.
That's a huge spread, bro. An
Yeah,
hour?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
the
If you got a hundred hours a week, what you making?
yeah.
You know what I mean? 200 hours a week. You making good
That
money.
yeah, the highest I'm seeing is like $19 an hour.
Yeah, and that's
So it goes from 15 to 19.
yep. So you already see that's it.
Okay,
Like these
got
are
it.
some of the services you was talking about. You know what I mean? Companion, like
Yeah.
housekeeping, laundry, personal care, home
Yeah.
based. Alzheimer's, nurturing, medication management.
hmm So now, for some of those services like the medication management, do those caregivers need to have some kind of training? Because I remember 6, 7 years ago, um, when I was doing my research, I actually wanted to start this 6, 7 years ago. I went for interview as a home health aide,
Oh yeah.
and they basically say, you don't need any experience. Is that true?
I mean, 6, 7 years ago, and your
Yeah,
market is different, right? So,
yeah.
I would definitely,
So I
I
guess
would,
my question is, who would I be hiring? Is it like primarily CNAs?
yeah, definitely, definitely.
Okay,
So
got it.
definitely, you'll be hiring CNAs. So in Maryland, they have what they call a med tech certification.
Yeah,
And what happens with that is it's a added certification that you have to get in Maryland to manage medication. You're
got it.
called a med tech. Um, so you can't really in Maryland you can't um without that you can only do like medication reminders. You can't handle their medicine.
Got it.
Um, so this is the state of Maryland. Like every state is different. Most states do have some type of training like that, but I would definitely make sure before you start, handling medication that you check and see that does Connecticut have that also. Is there some type of certification, added certification that they need to have before they start handling medicine?
Now, is the PCA same as the HHA? The
Um,
personal care assistant, is that the same as a home health aide?
yeah, for the most part, they have a whole bunch of different names. So they got the home health aide, the CNA, the GNA, the geriatric. You see what I mean? So
Got it.
all of them have the pretty much the same qualifications, the same skill set, but like the GNA, for example, they're more geared toward geriatrics, seniors. CNAs, they're just certified nurses assistant, but most of them end up working with seniors if they're not working in the hospital doing something else. Just working with nurses directly, but even still, they still end up working with a lot of seniors, so they still had a lot of a lot of those same skill sets.
All right.
Um,
And you
so
said, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, so previously you said, and once you're hiring these employees, it's gonna be as a 1099.
Yeah, we so again, another thing you want to make sure that your state allows it, but your state, we like to hire we like to hire 1099. We like to, use independent contractors. That's just easier for me with taxes
Yeah.
and management. But when you have them, you have to help make sure that they get insurance and stuff like that. So they gotta have their own insurance. It's really cheap if it's just like one person. You know what I mean? So we help them, get their insurance and stuff like that, so they can
So,
be certified.
well, you mean like their workers' insurance?
Yeah, they have because they're independent contractors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, I mean, on average, how much is that? So,
it's really cheap for them.
is it like a year?
Yeah, they can get it for the year.
So
So it's a
numbers
few hundred,
wise,
it's
like
like a few $100, but you know the caregiver pays for it.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So the caregiver. All right, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Because it's like they have it, you know what I mean? It's for them, it covers them
Hmm.
as a like a business. So so yeah, we just had another participant join.
Okay.
Dawn,
Hi, Ellen.
hey,
Hi.
how you doing? You're kind of coming in at the end. We've been kind of going
Oh, you
for
said 6 o'clock. I thought that was my time.
oh, I'm sorry, it's 7 o'clock here. Damn, I should have said PM. I mean Eastern Standard Time. Where are you at? In Central?
Yes, I'm in Chicago.
Oh, okay. So yeah, next Monday we'll be doing it
Next
at
Tuesday,
oh yeah, I'm sorry, next Tuesday. What did I say? Sunday?
Monday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, next Monday at well, I guess that'll be 5 year time.
Right.
Okay. So, but this the training we just had is all recorded, so you'll be able to see it in the group. And then also, before we get off, I'll let you, ask questions, stuff like that. And I'll do like a quick overview for you as well.
Okay.
We were just getting through some of this stuff, so we're going into marketing here real quick, and then we're going to hop off. I'm gonna give y'all the book, the required reading for the week. But just talking about the marketing real quick. Marketing, highly targeted direct marketing. Like so, um, these are the targets are your so these are the top referral sources in most marketplaces: the hospital discharge planners, home health agencies, hospices, skilled nursing facilities, assisted living facilities, adult daycare facilities, Department of Aging, case managers, and rehabilitation facilities, rehabilitation hospitals. So what you want to do with these places is start to build relationships. These are your targets. These are the places you want to go, and the people that you want to start engaging with in these places. And you're trying to get to the case managers, the discharge planners, or just the decision makers, because some of these facilities may not be big, right? So you might be working with an assisted living that doesn't have, a case manager and all that. They just might have, the manager or the owner that you might be dealing with. Just you might be staffing straight through the owner. And some of them might be really big, like a hospital where say for example in my area, we have to go through the marketing department. The hospital has its own marketing department where you have to go through there with your information, and they'll kind of show you how to disseminate it throughout the hospital, or how the hospital works with home care services and stuff like that. So these are, you take, you begin to build a list in your market. Like you said, I remember you said how many cities you're gonna be targeting? Um
Who are you asking?
you I think you had said, I think we
Yeah. I'm trying
beginning.
to starting off is gonna be about 4 to 6.
Okay. So you would take, you would go start to find all of these places in your 4 to 6 cities, right? All
Yeah.
the hospices, all the skilled nursing facilities, all the nurses assisted livings, all the rehab facilities, all the adult daycare centers. And then you would start making phone calls, try to schedule meetings and trying to get in front of these people and put your literature, your documentation in front of these people, have conversations with them, and then start trying to build some rapport, and stuff like that for they can eventually become referral sources. We'll get into a little later on, like how that process works as far as like, um, the process of building those relationships. I have like a strategy call the meaningful relationship development strategy, where we, it's like a series of contacts, that we try to make with these people, so we can start to build a relationship. We trying to get as much information from them as we can. We trying to see how we can make their lives easier, their jobs easier, so we can kind of add value, not just coming into my, oh, we want, because they get it a lot. So what are we
Yeah.
going to do to stand out, and what are we going to do to be different when we approach, say, a adult daycare facility where they have these caregiver, or these different home care services coming all day every day, trying to get them to be, referral sources for them. Like, what are you going to do to stand out? What is going to make you different? So we got processes for that. Well, obviously, um the data says the referral sources. So we use, and I think I was telling you about this before. The Home Care Pulses. Home Care Pulse releases a benchmark study every year, and it talks about all of the different referral sources, and then it also tells you like what are the referral sources saying, like who do they prefer, like why do they pick the home care services they pick, and then what the data comes back, it says, it's usually the person that they like, and it's the person that they last seen, and the person that they like the most, the person that they like the most, and the person that they last saw. So you got to be the person that they last saw and the person that they like the most. Like that's the goal. So that means you have to be consistent, or the last person that they spoke to, right? And kind of stuck out in their mind. So when they get that lead or they get that referral comes across their desk, you want them to be reaching for your brochure. You want them to be thinking about you instead of the next home care service. So like, what does that look like? So that comes with like, consistency, making these, follow up calls, checking in, see how they're doing, figuring out a way for you can add value. Say for example, adult daycare facility, you can come in there and do presentations. You can offer different kind of entertainment or classes or something. You know what I mean? You could do. There's just so many things. There's just like a plethora of things that you could do in the senior community that you can begin to make it so you're constantly in the community, like whether it's the adult daycare facilities, the nursing homes, or the rehab facilities, but you just want to have some kind of way so you can constantly be going back. You have a brochure rack, you constantly filling it, making sure it's full. Even if nobody's taking your brochure, you still want to make sure you're stopping in every 21 days or so.
What
Um,
about like the YMCS? Because I know a lot of old people love to go
yep,
there, for
yep,
their
yep, yep.
workouts.
That was a kind of like a secret weapon for me in the beginning.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because and they were like really open. Like some
Hmm.
places, because it's like, I'm gonna tell you probably what it was. A lot of people wasn't doing it. So
Yeah.
like you'll get to like some of these facilities where they just they get sick of it. Like this is so many companies coming in there getting on their nerve. You got to
Yeah.
figure out kind of break through the noise.
Yeah.
But
Like the YMCS people, those old people are very friendly. So,
yeah, but I'm talking about the staff, like
oh yeah,
the management was friendly. You know what I'm
got
saying?
it. All
I
right,
was like,
makes sense.
hey, do you feel like it? I said, what do you think about me doing? This was like years ago, and I'm
Yeah.
still in the YMCA today.
Yeah.
But when I first went there, I was just working out there. You know what I'm
Huh.
saying? But then I
Yeah.
was like, man, like you said, I seen all these seniors here. I said, man, I got to figure out a way to put my material.
Yeah.
So I was even able to like set up a booth, set up like a table, pass out literature, do presentations, like set up a class. Say like you might want to talk about like senior health or like senior diet or
Yeah.
fall prevention. Like you could, they'll actually allow you because they have like a lot of rooms. It's always empty, right?
That's
If you go
true.
in the Y, it's like they don't got nothing going on. So if you got something to put on their calendar, they're more than welcome. They're more than happy to let you do it, and they didn't charge us anything. So
That's good.
yeah, we are definitely use the YMCA or any other gyms where you feel like seniors are going to be, and that's how you want to think, man. You got to think kind of outside the box. You don't want to, obviously you want to do what works, but then also you want to make sure you're thinking a little bit beyond that as well. So let's go to the approach, right? We generally want to create a long-term value and add relationship with each referral source using personal, consistent, and proactive systems to help them consistently. Staff meet and greets, facility visits, events, dining, um, presentation, games, shows, music, comedy, plays, services, dog visits, grooming, like where maybe like you can get the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, like all that stuff you see the people be doing, that stuff work. You see what I'm saying? So you want to make sure you're doing that kind of stuff. And who facilitates this stuff in your company? You're gonna be the community liaison in the beginning because you can't
Yeah.
afford one right now. So that's gonna be your job. But the purpose of this job is to communicate, network, build strong relationships, educate, and follow up with the referral sources in your marketplace. The referral sources are the targets at the top. And this role is the most important role in your business on the client recruitment process. Create a it says a, but it says create a duplicatable system so that you can train someone to do it in the future. So what you want to do is, as you're out here in the community, you're building up these programs, you're figuring out what's working, you're talking to people, you're networking, you're building relationships, you're educating them, you're following up with them. You want to make sure you have some type of systems in place, like we were talking about earlier. We were talking about CRMs, customer relationship management. Whether that's through like Zoho, or maybe the software that you use for your like ADLware, or something like that. Access Care, the home care website, the home care software that you use, they might have some services, some CRM built into it that like send you reminders, or send emails out to these different people at a certain time. Like automated though. You see what I'm saying? So like when you're thinking about like a Bright Star, or a bigger Visiting Angels, these bigger franchises, they what makes them so powerful, one of the things that make them so powerful is their systems. It's just like McDonald's or anybody else, it's just their systems. So
Yeah.
what they have is they got like plug and play systems that work, and you have to create that in your own company, right? So you'll put your, say for example, you want to be able to put your lead in your system, and then you put their birthday in there, you put special all the holidays in there, so they're getting emails from you. You're getting a reminder, may pop up somewhere on your phone. It's telling you, oh, it's time, it's 2 weeks in past, you need to call this person. Well, you're not having to put this in your phone every 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to set up your calendar and all this stuff. You want to make sure you have a strong CRM, customer relationship management program, just kind of like doing all the heavy lifting for you. And like I said, like Zoho, and then some of the softwares now that they're coming out with, they do it is they have some of this stuff already built in. And when you do pick a software, you want to make sure you pick a software that does have a strong CRM program. If you're not gonna go with a specific CRM program, it's just that. But we could talk about that. But that's what I'm saying as far as creating a duplicatable system so that you can train someone else to do it in the future. And
Yeah.
also, your community liaison is somebody who you want to pay. Eventually, you want to get to the point where you can have somebody in the community, no less than like 25, 30 hours a week, in the community doing that legwork. Like that's going to be like almost like the most important person, because it's almost like your salesperson. After you can afford, after you can after you paying your caregivers and you got your office and stuff set up and you're doing business, the next staff I would hire, if you don't have, if you can handle your like your administrative stuff, if you can handle that, the next, or you have to hire somebody that after that. And then a lot of administrative stuff now you can use virtual assistants for much cheaper rates. The next job, or the next position you want to fill is a community liaison, and that's who you want to hire next. That's the most important employee you want to hire. And a lot of times you can pick them from like nurses. They could be like nurses that don't really want to be like they might be a little older and they don't care to be doing like the leg work that they used to do, or like working the long crazy hours that they used to work as far as just being a nurse, but they still have they have the expertise obviously, and they know that they understand the senior community if they have a senior background, or a really good CNA, believe it or not. Like a really good caregiver could be a good community liaison, but you got to make sure they're, like mature. You see what I mean? Like I'm not gonna take a young caregiver, or a immature caregiver. I ain't gonna put no age on it, but like an immature caregiver and try to give them a community liaison position. It pays more obviously, but it just entails a lot more um work on their part. You see what I mean? Because it's almost like a sales position, and then you can offer commission on lead on deal on clients that they bring and stuff like that. So it can really be a lucrative position, but you just want to make sure you have somebody obviously have transportation, has good personal skills, presentable. They're really presentable. They get good communication skills. They get talk to people well. and thrive in those kind of independent environments. And then the next thing we could talk about is like targeted direct marketing, like personalized phone calls, emails, handwritten letters, birthday cards, holiday cards, small gifts. You want to thoroughly study your top 10. And when I say your top 10, I'm talking about like, obviously you can't target everybody with the same intensity, right? So what you're gonna do is, as you get out here in the market and start doing your legwork and start engaging your referral sources, your top referral sources, like at the top, your targets, you're gonna see some people gonna stand out to you and some people aren't, right? Some people gonna be you're gonna connect to, and some people are gonna be a little dry. So the more people the people you connect to, you want to try to get at least 10 strong people that you connect to. You really feel like you can really build a relationship with this person. Y'all vibe and they're excited about your business. You're excited about their ability to help you. And then y'all kind of build that relationship. And then what you want to do is you want to thoroughly understand that business or that place that they're in. You know, whatever that position they're in, that company that they work for, or that agency, or that facility, or that department. You want to really know what they do, and understand that facility or that company, so you can figure out how to help. And once you start to figure out like what some of the value adds that you can create, um, you help them with that. You see what I'm saying? You start to understand the company culture, what they're into, what they, you know what I mean? So like different companies got different cultures and values, and you don't want to go in there one way and they move a little differently. So you just want to really get to know like this top 10. And like I said, you can't do this for everybody, especially if it's just you, one person, and you only got a certain amount of time out the week anyway. So you gotta, once at first it's like you're going out there and you're trying to contact as many people as you can. But once you get out there and you start to engage these people, like who can I really connect with? Who do I really feel good about? Who do when I call back, they take my call, we chit chat for 2 or 3 minutes, who do I kind of get personal with? Not too personal, but like who do I feel like I can really build a relationship with? But these are not just regular people. Like these are people who could potentially send you referral source. Not just you ain't just out here trying to make friends, but there's people that can actually help. And that's when I say, obviously, most importantly, the decision maker. But even the gatekeepers too, like the people at the front desk, they can be really helpful as well. But you definitely want to get to the decision makers. They call them DMs. Um, and when I say go deep versus go wide, that's what I'm talking about. So you want to go deep into like these 10 people, your top 10. You want to go deep as far as like you want to build deep, solid, really strong relationships with these people. And opposed to going wide, where you got all these people but there's no real substance to these relationships. You know what I mean? You're not talking to them on a consistent basis. You're not checking in. Y'all like not really on no email situation. Like, so that's going to make the difference. So if you feel yourself going wide, not deep, you're really not making really any progress. I mean, if you're getting referrals, you're making progress. But to get referrals, you have to, like I said, you have to build a relationship, and people want to do business with you. Like I said, they want to send you referrals. And like I said at the beginning, it's the people that they like and the people that they last, talk to or communicated with. And that's who you want to be. And then you could do like facility sponsorship programs, like free events, program presentations, get creative, become an asset by providing great entertainment services and informational content. Whether that's like, you might go in there and talk about dementia, or, you can get an expert, a dietitian, it's just so many different things you could do. You could go with like something more fun, like um music, knitting, bingo. Like if there's a place that, they might don't have bingo there, maybe you could do the bingo night or something like that. So be creative, be open and willing to do this kind of stuff, and you just won't believe how the doors will just open when you do this stuff the right way. And the crazy thing about it, the crazy thing about it, when we first really got into the community, because first we were just doing like marketing, and we just waiting for people to call. Didn't really go out into the community, just putting out, we was putting out marketing material and running ads and stuff like that. We were doing okay, but it wasn't until we started actually physically walking into these facilities and introducing ourselves And then I'm gonna tell you, before we hop off of here, it was this one facility. It was like I would say it was like the fifth. It was like the fifth or sixth assisted living that we approached, man. And they said they were just really happy that we walked in there that day. They were really happy. And this is when when I first started, I was with my ex-wife at the time, and we went in there together. And they were really happy we came because they had just ended the contract with a previous their previous um home care agency. This particular assisted living facility had like 80 something beds, and they did not, so they were more focused on just like, it seemed like they were just more like just focused on the housing more than the care. So they used to outsource their home care services. They That day they offered us, you know what I mean, that contract. Now it wasn't like a contract where they're not going to mess with anybody else, but we went under contract to service this facility. And it was just like it was the most work we ever had. You know what I mean? And it just took for us to just, get from behind the computer, get off the phone, and just really walk in and start really meet people and putting ourselves out there. And I'm gonna tell you why they went with us. I still remember to this day, they said, the director said, we want to work with, because this was the problem. This is the problem that we solved by being who we were. They said that we want to talk to the owner, or somebody who can make decisions at on a dime. We're tired of the last agency we were working with. We were never able to talk to anybody that can make any decisions. So you guys, being the owners coming in here, makes a total difference, because now we know that if the caregiver is not going to show up, we got somebody directly that we could call, that they're gonna, that we can call you directly, and you can fill the shift, or you can figure it out quickly, opposed to they got to go through, like, so say for example, they go through a franchise, the owner is in another state for the most of the time, and then it's like the management, and then it's like so many people that they got to talk to. It might be a recording, you feel me? So if they don't if their caregiver don't show up, they stuck on the recording. So long story short, it was a great opportunity just from us walking into a facility with a folder, like our marketing folder, and the brochures in the brochure rack. We were just going in there to ask them, could we talk about our business, meet them, and then leave our brochure rack somewhere that we could set it up so the families could take a brochure. We did not go in there expecting that to happen. So I'm just saying all that to say that once you get out here, like, magic happens. But like I was saying earlier, you want to manage your expectations, because I'm not saying by any means that that's gonna happen to you, right? But I'm just saying it could happen, because I didn't expect it to happen, and it never happened again. So let me say that as well. Like, it never happened again where it was just that simple. But early on, we just got lucky, and I don't know if that was just by the grace or whatever, but it just happened. So I'm gonna leave with that, and let me get to so we could go back, like, next week. We can, well, there's not much to cover. So funding, that's pretty basic. We'll talk a little bit about funding next week. But this is the book here that I want you guys to read. This is, like, I put the most boring but best book to read. I say it's boring because I don't know, like, what I mean. Stuff got to be entertaining for me to like it, to get into it. But it's the best book, that it's the most important book that you need becoming an entrepreneur. Starting your first business. I'm not sure if this is your guys' first business, but if you're starting your business and it's the first time that you ever endeavored into entrepreneurship, this is the best book. I don't know if you guys heard of it or not. This is the best book to read. This is the most important book for new entrepreneurs to read, so you can so you can get set up so you can get off on the right foot. Because what's going to happen is, what he talks about is how, as entrepreneurs, we get into this mindset of we can't let go, or we become, I don't even remember the terms he used. It's been so long, but we become like owner operators instead of like owners who delegate. And what that's gonna happen. And I know you're probably not thinking about that right now. Like you ready to get in there and start doing the stuff yourself, but it's gonna come a time, and you don't want that time to come too far off, and you want to be prepared to let people help and hire people and be confident in hiring people and let people do some stuff. And that's just one point that's kind of stuck out to me because there's a lot of great points in here. But that for me in the beginning was very hard to like let other people do certain things that I felt like only I could do. And my ex was the same way. She felt like, only she could, go do consultation, like, cause she knew how to close the clients and she knew certain things and she didn't want anybody else to do the certain things. So it will stunt your growth if you don't learn to create systems, create programs that people can kind of ease into with your guidance so you could work on other things. And that's kind of like where the term comes when you hear people say working in your business versus on your business. And he kind of teaches you to work on your business and not so much in your business. And that's just, something very important. So we're gonna leave off with that. And what I would suggest to do is for the week 1 assignment is, get that book, but then also go over your 12 areas of balance questionnaire that we discussed at the beginning. Print out the 30 sheets, the 2-page productivity planner. Um, file for your business entity if you haven't. Do your business plan outline, which is in your business in the box. If you got a application for licensure, go ahead and fill that out. And then the guidelines, obviously, if you got any guidelines and different rules and regulations that your state requires. Make sure you read that thoroughly. Like you don't just want a lot of people get into the business like, oh, you do my license, they join my Done For You program and they want me to do all stuff, but they haven't even read their state laws. Like even though we're helping you get the license and you do all the stuff, you have to know what's going on. You want to read, you don't buy the policies and procedures from us, we do them, and then you don't even read them. You have to know this stuff. Like you have to know this stuff. It's your business, so you definitely want to make sure you know all the rules and regulations that your state is going to require you to do, and not just breeze over it. Like really study it and know what's going on. So we're
Quick
gonna
question.
a little over
Um,
7:30. So
yeah, quick question. The guidelines. Where is that at?
it's usually on your state's website, wherever the license.
Oh, so
Yeah,
it's the
yeah,
guidelines for, okay. I
for your
thought it was a
state. Yeah,
special
that's what I'm
file.
saying.
Got it. All
Oh
right, no
no. I'm
problem.
just saying. But if you do have like policies and procedures, that could be also, if there's policies and procedural requirements, there's also guidelines for that as well. So yeah, so if there's any questions, we can kind of get to them real quick. Don, do you have anything?
Um, well, first off, thank you for the information that I did catch, and a lot of it I looked over in the information that you sent to me, so it's kind of a review. But one thing that kind of threw me, you mentioned home care versus assisted living facilities, and so I guess I know from what I read about you and what your ex-wife and yourself, how you all got started, it was as home care providers within other
Facilities, yeah.
right. So what I'm opening is the actual facilities. I would need to source out the caregiver. So does that matter in terms of what the assistance that you help with, the fact that I'm opening up RALs instead of home care?
Okay. So basically how we do this here, this program, we go through the home care stuff and then we get into the assisted living stuff. So like we start off with the home care and then we get into the assisted living. Just
Okay.
training.
Okay.
But besides that, we can have one-on-ones. So what you could do is once you're in this program, you can set up one-on-one calls. So everybody's not in the same place, right? This is a
Right.
new cohort. I have like multiple other cohorts that meet at different times of the week. So everybody's at a different place. And say, for example, you want to talk about assisted living, so me and you could just have like one-on-ones and just kind of get you going. You're not stuck here waiting for me to get to that. You see what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, so we can, whenever you're ready, whenever you need to, we can sit down, or on a phone, we could take a call, throughout the week. We can have a couple calls a week, however you need, to where we can, work on your stuff one-on-one. And same for Winston. We can, he's working on his home care. I'll have one-on-one calls with him. we have a one-on-one call scheduled for Friday where we're going to be, because he's, you know, the training is the training, right? But
Yeah.
then, you know, everybody's in different places. So I want to make sure the training isn't slowing you down because you have to wait, all like, oh man, I got to wait 3 weeks before we talk about Mark. You know what I'm saying? So no, we can still get at it, you know, on a
Okay.
weekly, you know, as you need. So schedule a call on the link, and then we'll, you know, we'll sit down and we'll talk. And, you know, we'll wherever you're at. I don't know if you got the property yet. Have you, you know, I don't know where you at, but we'll go from there. Wherever I'll meet you where you are.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Yeah. So yeah, so this training will be in the group. I think we got another one or two people, one or two other people who may be joining this group. So but the recordings will be in the private Facebook group that I created and I invited you guys to, and you'll be able to see that there. And then again, if you have any questions or any resources you want to share or comments or anything like that, you can post them in that Facebook group. And it's like I just posted some stuff earlier for him, something that we were talking about today. I just posted in there. I'll be posting other resources and stuff in there as well, just for us in that group. So so just look out for that. And if you have any questions, post them there, email me, text me, schedule a call, we'll talk, and we'll do this for the next 6 months.
Okay, great. One other question. Are there, as you mentioned that you have several cohorts going, you know, at different times. I'm sure you do have some cohorts that are more RAL
Further
heavy,
along.
right? Or, you know, that they focus more on the RAL portion rather than the whole.
Like we are just kind of like everybody pretty much at the beginning right
Okay.
now. Like that's why I just opened it up.
Okay.
So but like yeah, we can definitely have some conversation. I do have some videos and stuff like that if you want to look at some videos, but it's enough. I feel like so tell me real quick, where are you at in your process?
I'm at the beginning. I haven't purchased the properties yet, but I have a business where I have access to, so it won't take a long time. It's like I have to go through, as you know, like going through the whole long process, and you know, typically the way you typically buy properties. I've got a different model for what I'm doing. So that's why I got excited about your program, because I've also looked at consultants that I could hire to help me with the whole application process. You know, they promise that they can, you know, they've got experience, you know, walking people through. They'll come to your state and do all this and all that. So, you know, just trying to, you know, see what it is that is available and make sure that I'm, you know, I just really was impressed with what I read about what you've accomplished with people.
Okay. But
So
yeah,
yeah.
so obviously I'm telling you, so we can help you definitely get the license. You know what I mean? Once you get the property, we can even help you, you know, with the criteria for the property, depending on, you know, your budget or, you know, your strategy for getting the property, like how many rooms and beds and all this stuff you can, you know, you're gonna be looking to get. Once we figure that out, then we, you know, we go to the licensing process, furnishing, and then, you know, once you get the license, you staffing and looking for residents. But in the meantime,
Right.
you want to build your business. You want to start creating a presence as soon as possible. You still want to start building a network. Even now, like people don't realize, like even now is the time, because you know, even before you have a property, nobody's stopping you from, you know, building your presence in the senior community. You know, kind of, you know, like letting them know like something's coming. You see what I
Right,
mean? Like
right.
you know what I
Exactly.
mean? I'm gonna have some beds for you. This is some of the things I'm working on, and you know, be looking out for this kind of stuff here. And
Right. And my
yeah,
focus is Medicare. I'm sorry,
uh-huh.
Medicaid. Medicaid. So I get your point and all the information you gave about, you know, finding people who need your service, you know, and how you make, you know, build those relationships and nurture those and over, you know, over time and staying top of mind with them. But with I guess the way I'm looking at the business is, with it being Medicaid, I'm focused on people who are lower income. In Illinois, they pay well for this service for seniors, and well, I guess to just give you some background, my why is that my mom has Alzheimer's.
Okay.
And she doesn't qualify for Medicaid, but I know that there are a lot of people who are, you know, in a position and who are poorer than she is. And I guess what I plan to do is, starting off, like there'll be people who will be paying, who will be using their Medicaid benefits to pay for their services, but my mom will be there as well. And, and I'll be paying for that. So I guess,
I see what you're saying.
yeah. So I'm just trying to fill a need there. So it's less about, at least from what I can tell so far, it's going to be less about trying to find the people who need it. Because, once I make connections with caseworkers and people who are affiliated with, like people who know these seniors who have medical issues, and I'm going to do memory care. So that's why I'm interested in the part that you have personal experience with the home care too, because, I need to know how to pick people. I need to know, have people run it. Cause I want, of course I'm going to be hands-on in the beginning, because I want to know how everything works. But, I'm trying to scale like home after home after home, across the country. And so, I got big goals, but, I got to start with one,
Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So definitely go back and look at this one for definitely for the business plan portion, but then also schedule a call so we can talk and kind of see exactly what you need, and like what the next few steps would be for you.
Okay.
And just remember too that the Medicaid and stuff like that, that's just one program. Like there's other community-based programs that you can look toward, and I just posted that in the group. So look on the group page that you joined here tonight. The private group that I just added you to, like I just posted something in there that is going to show you some other programs that will help you find funding, because that was a question he asked, and it's for home care and assisted living. So like, because he was asking it like, what if a family can't afford the services? What do you offer? Like if they say, do you know any programs that can help us pay for them? And I just posted it. So that's something there as well, that might kind of fit your situation a little bit as well. So
Definitely.
we got a lot to talk about. Schedule a call. My calendar is up there Monday through Friday. Even on Saturday, I take calls. So yeah, and you can book as many calls as you need, and we'll figure it out.
All right, great. I'm really excited. Thanks, Alan.
All right, absolutely. Have a good night. All right,
You
take care, Winston.
All right, thanks, man. Bye.